Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, let's talk about a topic that's probably not the most positive, but I think it is important and essential for some people to heal and find more healthier situations, okay? We're going to talk about signs you are being used, signs you're a placeholder to somebody, and this might not be an avoidant, but you might feel like they are an avoidant because of the situation you're in, because you're not getting enough. But a lot of times, if you're feeling this way, it's actually not their attachment style. It's just that you're not getting enough. And it's probably because you are, in fact, a placeholder or being used. And I don't want that for anybody. And a lot of times when people do this, it's because you are a good person. I know it sounds like I'm making that up just to make you feel better, but it's true. You are a good person. That's why they chose you, but they can't, maybe if it's an avoidant, they know they can't commit yet, and so they're holding on to you. And usually if it's an avoidant, they're holding on to you until they're ready to commit. So it's not like they're going to replace you with somebody else, but they're just staying with you until they're ready, and who knows how long that's going to take. They don't even know. So you could be a placeholder to yourself. Avoidants do that, but sometimes what some people do, maybe they're avoidant, maybe they're not, is they know you're a good person, and they keep you until somebody better comes along. And that situation is a very unhealthy situation, and it's not fair. So let's talk about what this could be and what it looks like, okay? And often the main one is that they have not made much progress at all, not even a little. You will know, but you need to remain calm to evaluate this, because sometimes when people are emotionally charged, which is okay, you might think there's not much progress. But if you pause and relax and look at the actual progress and reflect from where it was when you first started dating to now, if you see progress, it's a good chance that you're not a placeholder. People who treat somebody as a placeholder, they don't progress within that dynamic because they don't care about it enough. They don't have enough emotional investment. So if there is progress within that dynamic, whether you want that dynamic or not, whether it's healthy, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're probably not a placeholder if there is some change. Might not be the case with everybody, but this is a pretty common one, and it's something to keep in mind. In general, take everything I say with a grain of salt. If you have all of these things and you still feel like your partner does care about you and it's genuine, doesn't matter what I have to say. You know your relationship better, okay? Remember that. The next one is they do not engage in disagreements with you at all and are nonchalant. I'm going to explain this, okay? Avoidants who do care, they might disengage, but it's going to look like this. They're going to get defensive. That's the most common one, okay? Now, if they're fearful avoidant, and I'm just being honest, they might lie. It's not a good thing, but they might lie or placate you to make you feel better. That doesn't mean they don't care about you. It's not good, but they care about your reaction, and they're doing whatever they can to get this negative emotion away, right? You guys are having a fight, and a fearful avoidance mind is that you're going to leave them. And a dismissive avoidance mind is you're going to basically make them out to feel like a failure and they didn't make you happy. And so dismissive avoidance, they're going to get defensive. Some fearful avoidance do that too. They'll get defensive and basically say, they might feel put in a corner. They might say that you always are asking too much, or you're confusing, or you're too emotional. They're defensive because they're just saying, whatever I can shoot darts at you just so you don't make me feel like I failed you. Because if I fail you, that means I'm not good enough. And then in turn, you're going to make me realize I'm flawed. And you are going to leave me. And it's because I'm a failure, right? Whereas fearful avoidance, they might feel like you're going to leave me because I'm not good enough and you don't like me. And there's something wrong with me in a way where I'm emotionally, there's something. It's not defective, even though that is part of it. It's fearful avoidance believe that they are born with like a problem. Dismissive avoidance do as well, but dismissive avoidance, the behavior that they do, they feel like they can earn it if they just work really hard, not earn you, earn themselves. They feel like I'm flawed, but it's okay that I'm this way as long as I can earn my own, okay? So a lot of dismissive avoidance might think, let's say, for example, they grew up in poverty. They feel like, yeah, I'm a person who comes from the background of poverty, but one day I'm going to be a millionaire, right? I'm going to work hard. Whereas fearful avoidance, they might feel like, you know what? I'm broken because I come from poverty. So no matter what, everyone's going to see that scar on me, right? And so what ends up happening is when you guys have a disagreement, a fearful avoidant or a dismissive avoidant, they will have some reaction towards you if they care about you, good or bad. which they will have to fix, right? But I'm just talking about if you're a placeholder. They will have a reaction. If a person, especially if they're an avoidant, does not have a reaction, this is a pretty big indication that maybe they're using you, okay? The next one is, how do I even explain this? They talk about their ex very often in a way where they need reassurance from you, okay? Some people talk about their ex because of they don't have boundaries. A lot of fearful avoidants do that. It's not because they like their ex. A lot of fearful avoidants struggle with boundaries. Some dismissive avoidants do. Some of them just don't understand. But when I'm saying this, they're talking about their ex in a way where they need reassurance from you, in a way where they want to hear you say that somehow they're trying to get you to reassure them that that relationship will work again. I know it sounds really weird. I'm trying to explain it. They might vent to you about their ex. They might be emotionally angry or charged, and they might, be saying this person did this, and you might say, oh no, you did right, whatever it is. And they might even ask, like, do you think they actually cared about me? Not that I care, but what do you think? And so they're trying to get reassurance out of you. This one is so obvious, but I know people miss it. I'm not saying they're talking about their ex necessarily. I'm saying they're emotionally charged and invested with that ex. Okay, does that make sense? The next one is that they genuinely don't have much of a single reaction towards your emotions. Very similar to the one where we talked about they disengage in arguments and they're nonchalant. This one's similar. If you're crying, let's say it's that time of the month and you're crying and maybe they did something to annoy you and so you're upset. Okay, maybe your emotions are a little charged because it's that time of the month, but you're still mad at them, okay? Avoidance, they may try to navigate this. They may even get distant with you. They may crash out. They may get mad at you. They may have a reaction. Some avoidants may even try and fix your emotions, but they are going to react. A person who does not care about you, they're very nonchalant, okay? They're not thinking about it. They might even tell you, hey, can you just, I get what you're saying, but maybe you can, put that elsewhere. But some avoidants say it like that too, but it's going to be in a way where you might see that it's bothering them. You're going to see that this person, it doesn't bother them. Like, it genuinely does not bother them. I don't know how else to put it. But in avoidant, no matter what, if they care about you, your emotions bother them. They have a reaction. Even if it's not a good one, they have a reaction. If it's a fearful avoidant and you're telling them something that makes them feel hurt, some fearful avoidance, which is not healthy, they might try and get back at you. I am not saying that's a good thing. Let's say, I don't know, you felt bad and then you said, oh, but I appreciate that, I don't know, this cashier, bought me, or this person at the store bought me something extra, or it made me feel better. And they might feel jealous. A fearful avoidant might bring that up later, or they might try and have a reaction. I saw that recently, so that's why it was on my mind. I changed the example, of course, but you can see that there is still your emotion and your feeling. It affects them, okay? If a person who is using you, they're not going to do this. Actually, another example I feel like might help. It's an example, okay? But let's say, for example, they were tilting their phone away from you. You think they're hiding a text, but in actuality, they weren't. Maybe they weren't even tilting it. They were just texting. In avoidant, maybe you accuse them of cheating. I don't know. Avoidance might react in a way where they might say, oh, I'd never do that. They might react really poorly defensively. Fine, if you don't believe me, look through my phone. And they might put the phone in your face, something like that, and say, see, I wasn't texting anyone. I was just texting my brother. Like, I wish that you would believe me, right? The reaction was not healthy, but it was a reaction. Whereas a person who's using you, they might brush it off. And they might say something like, I can't change your mind, right? The last one is that there is more focus on bedroom activity instead of connection. This is actually the opposite of most avoidants. Most avoidants actually struggle to connect in the bedroom once they fall in love. Not always the case. And so often you might see the intimacy in the bedroom dwindle. It might heal over time and renew. But when they're deeply engaged with someone, bedroom activity does decrease. A lot of you guys know this. You guys are in long-term relationships and you know this is an issue. If the focus is heavily emphasized on bedroom activities and nothing else, that might be a little bit more where you might be a placeholder. So let's go ahead and summarize and then we'll wrap it up. There's not much progress at all, okay? The next one is they don't engage in arguments with you. The third one is they talk about their ex in a way where they're emotionally charged or there's still some connection with that ex. The fourth one is they don't have a reaction towards your emotion. And the fifth one is that there's more focus on bedroom intimacy. I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.